I pulled an abdominal muscle. And honestly, I was afraid that I would have to like stop doing volume eating altogether. Hey everybody, Joel Hansen here, and today we're doing a Q&A. And I'm going to do something different for today's Q&A. I'm going to do my first official mukbang, or mukbang, which is basically just a video where you just eat, and it's going to be pretty much unedited. It's just going to be me eating a variety of foods. And yeah, so we're going to answer some questions. I will say this is going to be a little personal. We're going to touch on some very half personal, very interesting topics, but definitely give you a better look into my life, what's been happening over the last couple months, as I've had some pretty drastic or life-changing events. So I have some ribs, I have a little salad, I have like a mango and a tomato, and I'll probably be getting some more stuff because I'm hungry. I estimate this video will probably be about 20 minutes. I should get more napkins is probably what I should do. One napkin for ribs doesn't seem that sufficient. But anyway, I'm absolutely starving, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the the questions I received from Facebook. There's a few of them, and then I'll move to the questions I received from my YouTube. So huge thank you to everybody who did participate and asked me some questions, because they're going to be answered today. Not bad, not bad. This rack was smaller than I anticipated when I bought it, but it's all good. All right. So Emily Doyle says, what was your ultimate favorite food challenge? So I'm going to say, if you can consider it a challenge, my favorite challenge so far is the one I did at Adamson Barbecue. That's where I ate like 12 pounds of barbecue, and there was over $300 per pound of barbecue that I consumed was going to be donated to a youth shelter. So that's my favorite like unofficial food challenge. And then one of my favorite actual food challenges, I would say there's definitely a few good ones, but one of the favorites would be the B44 at Robbie's Smokehouse and Burger Bar and just outside Montreal. I really enjoyed that challenge. It's very tasty and a really good experience overall. Aaron Cohen, the world's greatest moderator, says, make up the most epic, ideal team food challenge. What would the food be? And what would be your team? My team members would be like Darren Breeden, Jeff Esper, Dan Killer Kennedy, Molly, Skylar, my friends George Lobianco, George Chigger, Matt Hazard. I'd love to see Darian Thomas on there. Really, like all my friends. And then the most epic, ideal team challenge, I think it would just be like huge platters of barbecue. Just as much as you could eat or as much as you want. I think that sounds like a good challenge. I like barbecue. That's one of my favorite foods. I feel it's a question that's later on, but I'll answer it now. Lynn Jego, sorry if I mispronounce anything, says, is there a particular food that you won't eat and intensely dislike? Well, I really don't like cheese, but foods like really, really gamey foods or kind of irony foods like liver. I only had liver once. I cooked it myself, so I can't say it was good or not. But I really, that gamey irony taste, like, honestly, it kind of makes me sick. I kind of like got sick off it once. And so it's a flavor that makes me sick. So I really, like, even if so a food like cheese that I can physically eat, I actually don't think I could eat like a lot of liver or something. Like, I literally think it would make me nauseous just because I kind of got sick off that gamey taste before. Those are Facebook questions. Thank you very much. Moving into YouTube questions. Edward's Sister's Hands says, favorite band? Also, which is more exciting to discuss? Favorite challenge you've done or future challenge you are looking forward to? Who? I would say That's a hard one. Favorite band, I would say like some of my favorite artists, like long-standing artists, for a variety of reasons, would be like Bon Iver, City and Color. I don't know who else. I have appreciation for a lot of artists and a lot of bands, like as long as it's good, passionate music. And then, I don't know. I think it really depends what's more exciting. Just like discuss a food challenge I previously did or going forward. I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna say maybe more exciting to talk going forward, because sometimes there's a lot of excitement, anticipation, that was, you know, within it. But that question definitely varies. Malcolm Adderley, who always has the most interesting comments, asked me, if stuck on a deserted island, would you prefer whips or chains to punish the locals, and why? Neither. Because I wouldn't punish any locals. Not need it. You know what I'm saying? Edward Sisterhands again says, do you ever get nervous going into a challenge? If so, does it affect your performance? Yes. So definitely, I occasionally get very nervous going into challenges, especially contests, and I don't know if it really affects my performance. I mean, I'd say it does a little bit, but I've kind of gotten used to it a bit more, but definitely is affected quite a bit. At least some, well, I should say I get nervous. I don't know if my performance is necessarily affected. And then also asked, biggest regrets during a food challenge, missed strategy, wrong place. So one of my biggest regrets currently is a food contest, an eating contest that I did within the last couple weeks. And it had to go to a tiebreaker. And unfortunately, although I was really good and focused the first round, I ran out of food, and I would have won if I would have had the food in front of me. And then when I went to the tiebreaker, I just wasn't focused, and I was spending too much time looking at my opponent, and I lost. I lost second, or got second. So that'll come out. So that'll come at some point. Lillian Sanchez says, oh no, it's just a comment. Maddie Nina says, do you plan to come to Europe for challenges someday? If I ever get to Europe, absolutely, I will do challenges. And will I get to Europe? Yeah, definitely someday. I don't have an immediate plan, but I promise you at some point I'll get to Europe, and I definitely plan to do a few food challenges. Veronica Walden says, Joel, have you ever had any of your equipment stolen during a challenge or attempt? If so, please explain. I haven't. I've been very lucky. Nobody's, to my knowledge, tried to steal my stuff. DJam says, what kind of work would you like to have in the future? Well, I'm in school to become a dietitian. Doing my internship now. So definitely plan to be a dietitian. I like the social media thing. I like acting. I like modeling. So I wouldn't mind something. I also like talking. So like public speaking. So I wouldn't mind something that facilitates a lot of that. Melina says, if you could create a perfect challenge, talking speed, capacity, type of food, etc., what would it be? I would say, again, a perfect challenge would just be like lots of barbecue, like lots of food I really, really like. Like I really enjoy tasty burgers, like brisket, pulled pork ribs, probably just like a lot of barbecue. And I'd have enough time that like I could enjoy it if I wanted to. I would still eat it reasonably fast, but you know, enough time that I could enjoy it. Pradeep says, is there plans for any collabs? And any foreign trips plans? So this next year I won't be able to do quite as much traveling as I did this past year, unfortunately. Just do a different schedule. Plans for collabs. I'm really hoping to get down to New York for the 4th of July. And if I do, then I'll be collabing with a lot of people. But besides that, there's nothing really like for sure. So yeah, that's about it. Janik Vlog says, what's your favorite sport to watch and follow? What is your favorite soda? So favorite sport, probably football, but I really don't follow sports. If competitive eating is a sport, that'll be it. Competitive eating. Favorite soda? I like grape pop, but I don't drink it because it's not diet. I like Diet Mountain Dew a lot. Probably something like that. We'll go with Diet Mountain Dew. And which country in Europe would you like to visit? I've heard a lot of really interesting things about like the Netherlands. So the Netherlands. I'd like to visit a lot of countries. Scotland, Ireland, England. So all the above. Let's see. We got Jean-Michel Moreau. In a French comment, he wrote, how do you eat all that and so fast? Well, Jean-Michel, I've just gotten used to it. It's something you gotta like kind of practice to do and get used to eating. Like I definitely didn't used to be so fast. I didn't know how to eat fast. There's a technique to it. And I definitely couldn't eat as much as I used as I can now. So you just got to kind of learn and like practice. Tammy Ollis says, how old are you? Believe it or not, I'm 23 years old. Physically, mentally, too old. Archangel says, where do you see yourself and your channel in a year from now? That's a good question. I would say, I hope that myself and my channel are continuing to, have like it's having some success, continue to prosper. I do get enjoyment from doing the YouTube. I really appreciate hearing everybody's comments. By the way, I will mention that I might mention it in like a pre-whatever to the video, but my channel recently has been hit kind of by a new YouTube algorithm, so I've gotten a lot less traffic and a lot less views over the last couple weeks. So, whereas YouTube's my only real source of revenue right now while I'm doing my internship, I've kind of like lost quite a bit of it, to be honest. It's about halved compared to what it was. So, if you are watching, please like my videos. I really appreciate it. Share, subscribe, that'd be great. And if you want to comment, literally just go down below, because the more comments increase the likelihood of the video like being seen as popular. Just like comment like 10 times on the video. Like I won't, maybe I won't respond to them, but literally just comment or hey or whatever like 10 times. Like comment on the video 100 times, and it'll help my the video be seen as popular and potentially be like more likely to be suggested. So you'd really be helping me if you want to do that. Yeah, my YouTube's kind of been suffering over the last little while. Despite me like literally amping up to about 3 uploads a week, I'm still not even getting half of what I did with 2. So it's kind of crazy. That algorithm really does affect you people. Aljack24 says, does Canada have a basketball team? They do. It's the Raptors. And they're made it to like the finals for the first time ever. Jonathan Myers says, are you planning to go to WWE Super Slam in Toronto? At this point, I don't really have a plan on it. Somebody wants to buy me a ticket, or, you know, I win tickets, or maybe I come upon a really good deal. Sure. Until then, not 100% sure. GSXR Joe, he says, who are the 3 competitive eaters that inspired you the most before you begin doing challenges? That's a good question. Definitely Randy Santel. I'm not sure if it was after or before, but also very, very early on was Nathan Figueroa. Eric the Electric was also quite early on. I'd say Matt Stoney a bit too, but he didn't really do like the restaurant food challenges, you know, just did crazy things at home. So definitely a mix, I think, those people. I think Darren Eats was very early on too, actually. Christopher Farmer says, do you plan to do overseas food challenges? Definitely. Anywhere I go, I will do food challenges. Joan Lightfoot says, do you have better choices of food in Canada or in the United States? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by better choices of food. Talking about challenges, definitely the States. There's a lot more in the States. You have a lot more food options in the States. Like, it'll be things like kinds of Oreos, cereals, chocolate bars, items like Twinkies you can't buy in Canada, you can buy them in the States. So just like a lot more variety or options in the States. So I guess that means better. Harris says, do you think it's possible you could do 3 food challenges in a day? If they were small. I've done 2 a number of times. But the key again would be they're like small. Jason Mass says, you live in Canada and you've been in the US, so my question is, what do you like and dislike in both in regards to food? That's a good question. Universally, I'm not a fan of cheese. But like and dislike, I don't know, I can't really think of anything that like really stands out. I dislike that, I shouldn't say I dislike. I really enjoy that in the States you can get so many more options. Oh, I know. I dislike that in Canada I can't buy 2-liter bottles of Diet Mountain Dew. And Diet Mountain Dew is so hard to find. And that in the States you have like knockoff versions of Diet Mountain Dew. And that you can buy Diet Mountain Dew in 2-liter bottles. So I really appreciate that about the States, and I dislike the opposite about Canada. Edward Sisterhand says, if you could choose one challenge you have done that you would eat every day for the next week, which would it be? Again, if it's classified as a challenge, my thing at Adamson Barbecue, the fundraiser, that food was so good. Like, honestly, it's the best restaurant food I've had in Toronto. Otherwise, the Great Steak Challenge. Favorite food, tropical foods, and tropical fruits and animals. And that's it. That's all my questions. So, at that, everybody, I want to thank you for tuning in to my first official mukbang. I'll leave the camera going. I'll keep talking. Now it's time for updates, life updates. So, yeah. Although my camera will overheat here at some point. But I'm eating a tomato just like an apple. So, Joel, what's been going on in your life? So at the end of March / early April, I pulled an abdominal muscle. And honestly, I was afraid that I would have to like stopped doing volume eating altogether. It was very, very bad. I'm talking like I try to sit down, stand up, everything hurts. Like, you don't realize how often you use your abdominal muscles until you like have a one hurt. So like even like bench pressing or curling or anything in the gym, holding something in front of you, you always engage your abdominal muscles, and that would like hurt me. So I was like very concerned. I was in a huge amount of pain, which was not very fun. I went to the doctor. I did like get assessed for a hernia, etc. I didn't have a hernia. But anyway, so I took almost a month. So I barely did any eating in April. In all reality, I did like maybe 2 food challenges the whole month, and no other eating. Because that was like, I was in a lot of pain. By the end of the month, April, it was pretty much healed. So it took about a whole month to heal. But actually just this past week, which we're in like beginning of June right now, I really kind of irritated in the gym. So when I actually went to Tim Hortons and ate all those donuts, I was actually in quite a bit of pain with my abdominal muscle. So it's not like 100% healed, but that's something that's been going on in my life. And I have noticed that I have a tendency that like when I'm in pain or something's going on in my life, I kind of distance myself or disconnect. Unfortunately, I kind of shut off a little bit, which is not a good habit. Don't do. But just being honest, that's something that I've identified. So if I've been a little bit distant from YouTube, etc., I do apologize. That's part of the reason. I also had to move to a city about an hour and a half away from where I was doing my master's, which I completed, by the way. I completed my master's, successfully defended it. My graduation, my convocation ceremony is this coming week. So that's pretty cool. But I had to move to another city for a month of courses before I start my official internship, which is in Hamilton, Ontario. I will be moving there this weekend, actually. So yeah, it's been a very busy, stressful period. I had my rental at an Airbnb literally cancel on me the day before I was moving here to London. So I literally like moved here without having a place, and I'm almost doing the same in Hamilton, unfortunately. It's just kind of the way it happens. It's kind of crazy. So there's definitely been a bit of stress going on, not to mention, I've been in classes, very intensive classes with homework from 9 to 4 every day. So it's been busy. It really has been. What else? I've gotten to do some cool eating events of recent, like the one Tim Hortons. I did a really cool challenge with George. It was like a steak challenge. I did a delicious challenge in Buffalo, which was the, damn it. I always make a mess. Which was the barrel sandwich challenge, which if you're ever in New York and you do food challenges, totally would recommend. So good. What other life updates have been going on? Yeah, just been having a lot of. It's been a very busy and kind of stressful time. And then, like I said, I've had a lot less views and whatever on my YouTube channel, like a lot less traffic, which again, it's my only real source of income right now while I am currently in school / doing my internship. So like that's kind of. I don't know, it's not comforting, if that makes sense. So like I said, if anybody wants to help out in any way by sharing it, liking it, etc., please do. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, so that's about it. I'm trying to think what else. Definitely the injury was a big one. A question I get asked is like, what injuries do I have? Because I mention them sometimes. So, I partially tore a tendon in my knee, my patellar tendon, so I can't really train legs very well. AKA, I can't train them at all. I have on my right side, an ongoing issue with my pec. I believe it was also a torn tendon, but I'll like irritate it and dis-irritate it. I've had some extreme right proximal bicep tendonitis, but I've been able to actually alleviate that quite a bit of recent by like loosening up, like working on my forearms. I had a chronically tight forearm, and that was definitely contributing or causing part of it. I have a hamstring issue, which has been on and off for years, ongoing. I think that's about it right now. So I can't really do too much in the gym. I'm very limited. I doubt I'm building any size. It's definitely just more trying to maintain what I have, and even then it's not effective. So I've definitely lost a bit of size over the last while. Additionally, I've like over dieted as well. So that's not smart. Trying to think what else. I feel like I had other things I wanted to talk about, or I was planning to talk about or mention, but... Alright, we're back. I got some more food. I got an orange and a peach, which I had a couple earlier. So good. I love peaches. Like I said, I love fruit. One of my favorite foods. I've like really been getting more into like music recently, and getting back to being a little bit more expressive, which is very, very healthy for myself. I have an inclination to bottle certain emotions. I actually hold in a lot of emotions and kind of bottle them in a way, or like I just don't allow myself to really feel them that great or express them that way. And so I'm becoming a little bit more expressive, which is really good for my like mental health, my personal health. I'm definitely glad about that, because that's something that you know, we all kind of have ups and downs with. Our mental health is better at certain points in time. Just being so busy, going go, lots of stress. You know, I've definitely had some, you know, I've had better mental health in other areas, but it's getting better, and I'm really glad. I did realize I'm literally moving like in the next 48 hours, which is really crazy. Don't know, well, I do know how I feel about that. I'm not overly excited for it, but you know, like you make the best of it. So yeah, that's kind of like a big update on my life. I have my parents. They're gonna come visit me, which is so cool, from across the country. I'm so thankful for that. I've really been getting more in tune with my parents again. I really do appreciate them. And I look forward to seeing them a lot, because they're great. I really appreciate that. Especially moving to a new place. You know, it can be a little scary sometimes, a little lonely. You know, even though I do have good friends, like I said, being stressed out and I kind of shut them off. Sometimes, you know, you can feel a little isolated or a little lonely. You know, even myself, you know, so yeah, so that's, I think it's really good for my health. You know, I'm getting better, creating some relationships with like some of my classmates, which I have some really cool classmates. Again, our classes are like over, but while they lasted, they've been good. Had some good conversations, some supports. I was in my classes with 34 females, no other males, so I was definitely the elephant in the room. So that was pretty funny. That was a really good orange, actually. Yeah, so just kind of like music, getting back in touch with myself a little bit. I've been singing more. This peach isn't as ripe as some of that earlier. I'm going on a couple of runs. I found a really beautiful path here, like right by the water. It's been great, because it speaks to me down there, if that makes sense. I just go down there and I feel like at peace. It's a little euphoric. I've got to do some cherry work recently, which is pretty fulfilling. I've got to make a donation to the to a local food bank, which again, really cool. I really enjoy doing that stuff. I really enjoy like helping others and listening and giving and talking. Like honestly, that and like plus teaching, yeah, like all the above. Like I really enjoy that. Like I really enjoy kind of serving others. Yeah, that's where like I find true value and stuff. Anyway, I actually don't know if I closed off that video or not. I just want to thank everybody so much for all their support, their continued support. I really appreciate it. Again, this is definitely a different video, different Q&A. I hope it wasn't, you know, too personal or incitey or whatever, because, you know, definitely got a little more into that stuff than usual. But like I said, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm off to bed. But let's do it, everybody. We're in it together. We can all get through it together. You're never alone. People are always in a similar situation. So with that, everybody, say happy, healthy, hungry, and happy eating.